Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the inaugural episode of Grim Squadron Radio, coming at you live from the Outer Rim territories. My name is Zeph. Joining me is Jedi Luigi. Luigi, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Zeph. How are you?
I'm doing great. I would just like to thank all of our viewers tuning in today on our first episode. It's going to be a great one. We have a lot of good content prepared for all of you. So without further ado, let's get underway.
Alrighty.
So, Luigi, where are we at in this giant galaxy of ours?
We are on Long Island,
Long Island.
New York.
Long Island, New York, otherwise known, at least we believe, to be the
hmm
Outer Rim territories. Now, why do we think that our little piece of soil on the far-flung reaches of this island is, in fact, the Outer Rim territories when we're talking about X-Wing? Well, you would think, right, that New York City is like Coruscant, right? That's like your stereotypical thing. Like, Coruscant, New York City, the huge city. New York is the hugest city
Yeah,
on
Spice
Earth.
Stealers every corner.
Yeah, exactly. Right? There's aliens all over the place asking you for money. It's
Death
terrible.
Sticks.
That
Yeah.
sticks. Oh my lord. Bape Nation hype. All right. But Long Island, if anyone knows like New York geography or the tri-state area,
hmm
is especially Eastern Long Island where we're located, is really like the edge of nowhere.
Oh yeah, it's
You,
just suburbs up until a certain point, and then it's just farms.
they just hit like the Moisture Farm, Sod
hmm
Farm, vineyards, and like where I live personally, Rocky Point, is like
hmm
we are the edge of nowhere. Like any further east, and there's no 7-Elevens, there's no nothing.
Yeah, there's like one quickie mart,
It's
like an
terrible.
actual quickie mart. Honest to God,
Yeah.
it's right
Um,
there.
but in other regards for X-wing, Long Island seems to be the outer rim compared to the big bases of X-wing power, like
Mm-hmm.
like Nova Squadron down in Virginia, Fantasy Flight headquarters out in Minnesota,
Mm-hmm.
in Gen Con in Indianapolis. We
Capital,
are
Pennsylvania.
far flung. Alrighty, so that's the reason why we like to introduce ourselves as from the Outer Rim territories.
Because we basically are.
Yeah, we're on the edge of nowhere. So that being said, let's
hmm
talk. Let's tell you guys a little bit about us.
Yep. All right. So I'm Jedi Luigi, Ouija, however, whatever you want to call me. We get to play at Brothers Grimm Games in Selden.
Selden, New York.
hmm Very fun. Uh, Fridays is league night.
Yep, it's a wretched hive of scum and villainy. That
Yep.
place. No, but it's really good.
No, yeah.
It's a huge base for like magic players.
Oh, there's always people playing Magic. Always.
It used to be huge for 40K as well, at least in this area.
They had a tournament yesterday.
Oh, did they?
Yes, they did.
I think I got the tail end of that when I was heading to Store and Fire and Dice for their X-wing tournament.
hmm
We went up there and went on west. That tournament was pretty fun actually.
hmm I wasn't
Um,
able to go.
yeah, unfortunately, I wish you were there, man. But that tournament, my first match, has rekindled my hate for the Z95 Starfighter. I really hate that little. Oh my lord. Oh.
We'll get into that later. We'll get into that later. Let's
Fine,
get
fine,
through
fine,
the
fine,
intro.
fine, fine. Alrighty. So now you know about us.
hmm
I want to hear about you guys. So after the show, in the chat, please let us know what you think. Want
Yeah.
to hear from you. Want to hear about you. We want to spread our love to the X-wing community. So that being said, let's talk about a couple things that we have experienced this spring. So first and foremost, I believe our journey starts this year in Carlisle, Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah.
What happened in
Kappa Cup.
Carlisle? Kappa Cup. When I first heard about this wonderful event we were planning to go, I was thinking Twitch memes, man. I'm thinking like Kappa Cup
Yeah, Kappa
with the
Kipo.
Kappa face. raise your dongers and whatnot. But that was a really good event.
Oh, it was amazing.
It was really good.
Even despite the blizzard, because the blizzard hit us just as we got there.
Oh man, like right when we got there, right, it started snowing,
Oh
right?
my, yeah, it
And
was
the hotel
ridiculous.
that we were at, we didn't actually stay at the event in the first place.
No, we went to a different hotel,
Went to a
but
different hotel, and that place was
they didn't
terrible.
have heat.
No heat. It was
Uh,
absolutely terrible. So we decided, all right, we're not gonna stay here. We're gonna stay at the venue, which was
the
a
best decision.
hotel, um, somewhere in Carlisle. I don't know. It was there.
It was there.
So we went to the venue. Venue was great. They had a ridiculous amount of prize support.
Oh my God,
Shout
everyone
out
got
to
a door
Kappa.
prize. Yeah, Kappa Cup, amazing.
Shout out.
Everyone walked away with at least one door prize. Actually, more.
Yo, I got
Everyone
a beer
got.
boot.
Yeah, you got the because in the first round of the tournament you were playing, you were the first person to kill a ship.
First person in the entire event to get first blood wins a beer boot and beer to go with it, and that was really good. So I was playing a list I really liked at the time, which was Cat Scarlet with Veteran Instincts, K4 Security Droid, Heavy Laser Cannon, and two Hawk 290 Spice Runners with Twin Laser Turret and Recon Specialist.
Hmm.
Those things were really annoying and really cancerous, and I'm glad actually that Twin Laser Turrets are out of the meta. And it also kind of pains me because I bought four Hawks.
Well, you have
I'm
four
that
Hawks. I
guy.
mean,
Yeah, now
you
I have
have
four Hawks. I have all the recon specialists in the world, man. You want a Moldy Crow title? I'll give it to you. I'll sell
I,
the Moldy Crow off the lot. 500 credits. Jesus Christ.
I was playing a not so good list. It was Guri and Boba Fett. Uh,
Right, right, right,
yes, I
right.
was playing that. I thought it was good. I was like, oh man, this is gonna do great. No, I got
No.
my shit kicked. I went 2-3.
Nah, that's
I
not
mean,
bad. That's okay.
it wasn't bad, but during the side events after, because they I had side events too once the top 8
Oh, yeah,
or
and you get
16
more
cut
stuff
was
out of that. I
done.
got a mat out of that with the side
Yeah,
events.
I got a I think I got a tray or something.
That was really nice.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Like after the actual event was done, well,
Yo,
not it wasn't done. The top 16 cut happened. Anyone who wasn't in the cut got to play in a side event, and there were still chances for prizes.
yeah, man, and like the first like random door prize. Oh, we're gonna here pull a name out of a hat. Oh, you get a 10 of 4. There you go.
Yeah, yeah. The first person got a Tanev, another person got a KR case, someone got a Raider. It was
It's
ridiculous.
really good. So shout out to Kappa.
Hmm.
That place was great. I really enjoyed that event. I hope
Oh
there's
yeah.
more X-Wing GTs like that. Speaking of GTs, we are in the throes of regional season.
Oh yeah.
The dead throes.
It's on.
So before we get to talk about all these regional shenanigans, and there's a lot of regional shenanigans,
Oh man.
we had the lead ups with store champs.
Hmm.
I myself took second at a store championship in Plainview with my four Rebel Recon Hawks with twin laser turrets. Those things made a lot of people sad because they are both they are that list is really unfun to play and really unfun to play
I can
against.
attest to this. It's just you look at it and go, I'll kill a hawk.
You were running like a tie swarm, right? We actually
Uh,
played against each
I
other.
was.
Yeah,
I
you
we didn't
were.
play against each other
No, we
actually.
did.
We did.
Yeah, because I made you really sad. I remember, and just the look on your face. So you were running that tie swarm, right? Like the six ties, flying a brick, and I was in my little my hawk
Oh yeah, it was
box,
two bricks
and I
versus
and I
you.
like flew
Oh, that's
up
right.
into the
Yeah.
rocks, and then I kind of like turned up toward you,
I
turned
couldn't
to the left, and like you did not want to commit
I
because these
couldn't
hawks
commit
would
because the rocks.
because of the
That's what
rocks,
it
and these
was.
hawks would like chew you up, right? And
Yeah.
for some reason you didn't want to joust.
I don't
And
know what I was
then
thinking.
we were like, it was like 45 minutes in, and then I managed to get range 3 shots on one TIE fighter, and I killed it. And then I like zipped right through the rocks, which then set the tempo for the rest of the game. I got 12 points right there,
Yeah, you
13. I don't
killed the
know what you
tie. I
were
had
running,
it.
right?
Then I had to commit, and it did not go favorably
You broke
at
against the
all.
rocks. It was really terrible. That took second. The only other list that actually beat mine was another guy running. Um, a variant of four twin laser turrets. He had like two twin laser turrets. He had Torkoal Mux, two Y wings with twin lasers, and a Hawk with tactician with twin laser turrets. Torkoal also had a tactician, and I actually beat him in Swiss. But I guess that was too
Oh
much
right,
information.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
guy named Matt plays with us all the time. Comes on down to Brothers Grimm Games. Really great guy. Just I guess got information off it. I made one mistake and I died. It was really unforgiving, but it was really good X-wing play. What else do we have under our belt? We have our
We
own store
had the
championships, right?
February 27th store championship.
Yeah, I actually wasn't there for that, which made me kind of sad. I was
I
down in
was
Florida.
shoutcasting that.
Right? Yeah, you were
The stream
casting
was
it.
provided by Gen Game.
Shout out to Gen Game.
Yep, George. Thanks, George and
So
Trevor
so
actually.
what so what went down there? Tell me about it because I actually was not there,
All
and
right,
I
so
actually
this
couldn't
was.
even watch the stream from where I was at because the internet was terrible and it was
Mm,
like buffering every 2 seconds. Tell me about it.
all right. There were a lot of pallet paces. Like this was before Wave 8 hit, so let me preface it with that. So there were no U-boats. There was nothing like that. Um, you saw robots. You saw pallet aces, and then a
The
lot
twin
of
laser turrets, right?
yeah.
Those were
Actually,
there
no.
too.
Only one person
Only
ran.
one,
Person
our
ran
boy
four
Danny
TLTs.
boy.
Yep.
He
A guy
died
we know,
horribly with it.
Dan, and he got mulched by the pallet paces. Played by Scott, I believe.
So what was his run on Palp Aces? What was his
His
take on it?
palp ace list was Omega Leader, Com Relay Juke Stealth Device, Vader with Crack Shot, Proton Rockets, Advanced Target Computer, and the title. And engine upgrade, I think. Yes.
That's good.
And then an Omicron group pilot with Palpatine and an ion cannon.
Ion cannon.
Yeah, no, dude,
Ion cannon.
he didn't really use it all that often, but when he did, he got the hits through and he ioned you, and then the Vader and Omega Leader just jumped on the dude who was ioned and they were dead.
That dude's like a really dead, right?
I didn't see him use in the game he used it, but I heard it was very effective. So I think
So
the option for control is to scare people away from the shuttle.
maybe
Somewhat.
cause when we're talking about Palp Aces, right?
Mm-hmm.
Palpatine's like a giant pinata when you
Oh yeah.
think about it. So the shuttle doesn't really maneuver all that great. It's about as maneuverable as a hawk actually,
You,
and it's
you
really
put it on a
terrible.
board edge and hope, someone will joust it.
Yeah, but well, you want to like be able to use the gun, but like that thing can't turn around all that well. The only
Oh, it
hard
cannot.
turn it has is
Absolutely
a
not.
red two, right?
The hard 2 is red.
Yeah, it's really terrible actually. Um, so that thing's like a giant like pinata worth 28 or something points.
29.
29 points plus ion cans or whatever you want to throw on it makes it
Mm.
even a juicier pinata. Um,
Yeah, but Scott played really well. He was versing in the final round Matt's Robots.
oh really?
Yep, Matt had
Robots.
Crack Shot instead of VI,
Well,
which
yeah,
is
now
really
that's the thing, right? Crack shot now.
uh he did Crack Shot because he was expecting a lot of lower pilot skill TLT like things.
And
So he
was like
wanted to be able
Vader and
to
Omega Leader chew him up, or how'd that work?
um oof. It was weird. He in the final match, the deployment wasn't the best. Like he turned into the shuttle, and then the rest of Scott's list came in from the side and just boxed him in.
Wow,
And then
that's impressive.
it is. He did do some good maneuvers, but unfortunately, he got a blinded pilot crit when he did not want to get hit by that crit.
Oh,
His evade dice crapped out on him,
ah man. Well, we can't
and
always blame it on dice, right? So
no,
he
you
must have been
can't.
like
It
out of
was
position or
positioning.
something.
It was positioning, and he got blinded pilot, and he couldn't shoot back with one of his IGs,
That's unfortunate.
and because of that, next turn,
Good night.
just his aces were able to not take any damage effectively,
That's crazy.
even after Palpatine was dead.
Definitely crazy. Pal bases are like all over the place now,
Oh yeah, they're everywhere.
which it's
Absolutely
kind of funny because like you never really saw it, at least out here in Long Island's meta, which actually has been really
fluctuating.
unstable. It's been a really unstable meta. We've seen everything, the breadth and width. We don't even
And
see it like U-boats that much, and that's like the meta everywhere else.
yeah, we'll talk
Um,
about Rochester because
yeah,
that's really interesting what's happened there.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. But Palpays are really interesting. We didn't really see it when the Raider first came out.
Uh, I'm gonna tell you why. It's because the rebels were able to counter it. Rebel aces with like regen
Regen aces,
and
and then you
stuff
also
like
had
that,
like
and control like the stress bot.
stress bot. Yeah,
Those things were able to shut them down. But U-boats came along, and they just the fear of them pushed rebels out of the meta.
I guess right.
Yeah, we didn't actually see a lot of rebel lists in like I looked at list juggler and all
Yeah,
that. There weren't a lot of like heavy rebel lists. Like it wasn't like a 33% split in the top eights for
really.
a lot of yeah, no, it was mostly Imperial and like Scum.
Imps and scum. That's interesting.
Uh,
Like spice dealers just running around in Space Compton, running from the cops. You don't really see any space terrorists
but
nowadays.
we'll talk about what happened just recently
Oh
with
yeah,
resurgence of rebels in an unexpected way.
definitely.
So yeah, but this spring, so up to this point, and then April 7th, there was at a store, Fire and Dice. There was a store championship that we all went to.
Yes, that was really good. I took second there.
You did. You got
Oh wait,
a.
no, what? It wasn't a store championship. It was just an X-wing tournament. Just a regular tournament. It wasn't a store champ.
I wasn't store. Okay, well, it was a winter kit. That's what it was. Okay.
No, no, it was the first
Uh,
spring kit.
was it?
Yeah, because we got the VI out of it.
That's right.
Yep,
Yes. Okay, my mistake. Anyway,
very swanky
so
VI
Matt
card
tried
nowadays.
out his two U-boat Z95 list there.
It was Manaru and Tel Trevera
Necromancer.
and the Z.
Nadru Shellac with
New-
Lone Wolf
Yes,
and cluster missiles and
it
guidance ship.
was totally a waste of like 29 points for that Z95. At least I think so.
Debatable. What did you play there?
I was running what I call the scum toolbox. All right, so it's two Syndicate Thug, the PS2 Y wings with dorsal turret, the unhinged astromech, and the BTLA 4 title. So you get that nice little double tap at range 2 and
Mm-hmm.
range 1 with the 2 and 3 dice respectively. We got the new Mist Hunter. That thing's a baller with the title Tactician, Tractor Beam, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it.
Yeah. I
Oh, an
will.
accuracy corrector.
Accuracy.
That which is huge. Definitely
Yep,
on
it
that
is.
ship, it's huge. And I think I ran Torkoal Mux with Recon Specialist. I don't know if I ran Tactician then. I run it now with Tactician.
Yes, you do, and it's super annoying.
No, then I also ran it with Tactician.
Yes,
So tack on both of these guys. Torkoal Mux with TLT Tactician.
they were just annoying.
It's really handy, except when I run across big ships. They have a little bit of a problem with them breaking open the pinata, especially since like tractor beams you can't control your opponent, right?
Not
But
the large
tractor beams,
bases.
the tractor beams are huge with small ships, absolutely huge.
Yeah, you
Oh,
pull
you're
them
just gonna
towards
run
the.
at me? I'm gonna throw you on a rock.
Yeah.
It's great.
Uh, but Matt did really well that tournament.
Yeah, he took
Yeah.
first. I took second. It was really good. He actually barely squeaked out first there too. I had him up in a corner with I had Manaru up against the wall with my one remaining Y wing and nothing. Like I rolled a hit and I think it was like nothing. I did no damage. I had like he had like a couple hits left
Mm-hmm.
and he barely killed the Y wing. It went down the time. It was really good. He squeaked
Okay.
out the win.
I was playing my Necromancer list
Oh, the
there.
Lich Lord Tel Trevera. I
Tel
love that
Trevera
build. That's really
with
good.
Determination, Gonk, Salvage Astromech, Hull Upgrade, the title, Punishing One title,
hmm
and I think that's it.
You had
Uh,
Y wings with twin laser turrets with it, I
yeah,
think,
my
right?
two Syndicate thugs with TLT and Unhinged.
Yeah, I
100
heard you
points.
changed that since, right?
I have changed that since. It was because of the Geekeries Championship I changed it.
The
We'll talk about
threat
that
of
in a
the
minute.
U-boats.
Yeah. I went it was 3 rounds at a store of Fire and Dice.
hmm
So I lost. I won my first match, but I lost the next two. Just just squeaked by though.
How'd
Wasn't
that
the
happen?
best. Uh, I made a mistake in positioning against Bosk, and Bosk doesn't deal out crits,
Oh,
I
so he just
guess.
ignores all your
Yeah, he
all
ignored most of
your
my
soak.
damage and like negation, and just there goes Tell.
Yeah. I was like, oh, I'm gonna rise from the dead. Oh, you're dead again.
Hey, you're dead. Yeah, I'm
Yep.
like, oh, I should have made him fly off the map, but uh,
Oh well.
there and there. You live and
You live
learn.
and learn, right?
Hmm.
You never lose. You win or you learn. That's what it's
But
about here in
at
X-wing.
that championship, at that sorry, that store tournament, there were a lot of U-boats. Of the
I don't think I ever faced against any.
you got, there were a lot, like a lot. Like of the four scum players out of I think 8 people there,
Hmm.
um, 3 of them were using U-boats in some fashion.
I was running impaces actually. I was running Palp.
Oh no,
Uh,
no, that was the I'm talking about the store of Fire and Dice.
oh, I thought you were talking about the
No, no,
geekery
no, no,
down in
no,
Astoria.
no, no, not now. We'll talk about the geekery.
Okay.
Uh,
So
what were
down
you running?
there, I was running Palp Aces with Palpatine on the Omicron with Sensor Jammer.
Mm,
Sooner fell with the usual auto thruster shenanigans, auto scepter stuff,
yeah, it's Sooner Fell.
and Turf Fenner, same deal. VI and auto scepter goodness.
Oh yeah, you had 2 interceptors. That's right.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. It did good the day before when I was like practicing with it,
Mm,
and my games were uninspiring to say the least. I don't know. It seems like you have to pick a really durable pair of aces when it comes to that because
mm.
two interceptors are really like feast or famine, right? So like if
Yes,
I'm
they
like
are.
rolling against something and like I miss out
I think the
and
problem was that they really rely on their evade dice.
yeah, they do.
Absolutely. And like if you had someone like Vader who can
Vader or like the
just take so
Inquisitor
many actions,
or
or the
maybe
Inquisitor,
Whisper. I liked Whisper
Whisper 2,
actually.
Whisper 2, the people who can add evade tokens or just have so many dice where
Extra mods, right?
yeah, extra mods.
Yeah. So that
That's
tournament
important.
was pretty uninspiring. I didn't do too hot. I don't
I
know
did
if you did
pretty
too
well
hot.
actually.
Didn't you come like
It
fourth
was
or
in
fifth?
3 rounds. I won 2 of them and I lost the last one.
Oh man, I think I went. Did I go 3-2 or did I or 3-1? What 2-1 or 1-2? I don't remember.
Geekery was only 3 rounds.
Yeah, so I think I went 2-1.
Hmm.
I don't remember.
I did 2-1. My first match. Oof, what did I play? I think I played some kind of ace list. But Tel Trevera did amazing because he could only roll crits, which was funny. Not against me, but it was pretty funny.
Yeah,
Because with determination, I go,
I'm just gonna throw that out. And I don't have to care about
yeah,
your damage. Oh, that's a nice, blinded pilot. Goodbye. I don't really care about that. Or oh, that's a nice like double damage. I'm gonna just pop destroyed. Go away. Or determination. I don't remember how it works. I
yeah,
barely
Salve
use those cards.
Astromech, and the Gonk to help regen the shields.
Yeah, you just run away and just put your shields back on. Oh, so last little battle report coming out from Long Island. We'll talk about regional season is the second Storm Fire and Dice tournament because I really want to talk about the Z95s
Okay, yeah,
that I
go ahead.
really don't like. So I played against my buddy Dave in the first round, and he was running a nice little phalanx of Talos Swarm with Blount, and they all had conch missiles.
Ooh,
And to me, in general, like even last time at a Sword and Fire Dice when I lost against Matt and he had Naduru, I personally do not like the Z95. I feel like it's a really uninspiring ship. It might be cheap on points. Well, so is the 1991 Camry that you bought for $1,000. That doesn't mean it's good. It's cheap. It'll get the job done. It'll fill 12 points. But if you could use those points better, I feel like do that instead of take a Z95. This dude loaded him up with conch missiles, guidance chips. He had Blount,
yep.
and this dude rolled around like it was a Roman phalanx. So the whole point was, all right, so Blount's the Centurion. He points out a scum barbarian or Carthenian Imperial
Hmm.
player and be like, that guy, and all the Z95 start to pile him, and then they all connect and just kill that one guy in particular,
Oh
and then
yeah.
they draw their gladiuses and then they battle it out. When he played against me, he looked upon one of my Y wings and went, "I want that dead," and I'm like, "I don't want you to kill that." So I ended up uh, car accidenting his entire mess. We locked him up, parking lot, and
Hmm.
he only managed to squeak out one of those missiles, which was actually pretty good. But in general, I just that Z95. What are your thoughts and feelings on this lovely little 1991 Camry?
I like the Z95.
You are terrible.
I know I am, but I like it. It's for a lot of reasons
Why?
because it's for what it does. It's the scum and ribble kind of TIE fighter almost in that it's really cheap and you can put it and you know what it will do. It will block. It's a great blocker.
Yeah, well, so is not taking fiber in your diet, right? That's a great blocker too. That doesn't mean like that doesn't mean it's good. I mean, tie swarms are really only threatening with black crack, right?
What
That's
about
the big deal. The black crack.
what about that blunt list? I mean, if you were not able to jump into range one and car accident and everything, what do you think
Well, I
that
got
happened?
fortunate because he didn't commit like close enough. So like he did like a four
Oh,
forward, right? And I was like one forward. And like for him to get those missiles off and screw up that Y wing, he would have had to do another four forward again. And I was deciding at the time whether or not, all right, do I just want to like meet him at the punch and do like a three forward or three curve in to get in
hmm,
that range one, or do I want to like hold back? And holding back was the key because he like tried to go for a middle ground, thinking I would commit a little bit more,
and he
and
didn't,
he
and
got the
that's
thread tracer off,
he
and
did.
there was a nice little stack of target locks on my dude, but he wasn't able to get the missiles off, and then I just ran at
Oh,
him. I actually did something silly and did like a 4K turn. I should have did a four straight. Doesn't matter. It served a purpose. I stopped the missiles, and then we proceeded to have a mosh pit on the
hmm.
left side of the board.
You think it would have been a different game if he had just did a one forward or something like that and
Well,
got
I
all his
would be
missiles
down a
off?
Y wing,
Hmm.
and then I don't know where it would go from there because I feel like that list um, and just suffers from the same problem that like U-boats do, right? So U-boats are really popular,
Hmm.
but they suffer from one key Achilles heel in that you blow your ordnance, right? And you blow your ordnance, and if you don't hit a critical mass when it comes to dealing damage, like if you didn't wipe out like half their list or kill their important stuff,
Mm.
you lose because all right, I have three U-boats that are more or less empty at this point because all of my mods and upgrades went
Ordnance
into
don't do anything
throwing
now.
ordnance, and now my ordnance is gone, and I didn't hit that critical mass of being able to like sweep up the sweep up the rest.
Hmm.
And I have three U-boats, and they do like two damage, and then they just get mopped up. There's no
Uh,
follow up with the
there
U-boats.
there is and there isn't. Um, they still have the R4 agromech, which does help with their dice, and they if they can just keep themselves at range one of you, they get 3 dice. And if you shoot them first, they spend that focus. I think R4 agromech it might be only when attacking. I have to double check that.
Do it up.
Uh, but if it isn't, then if they spend it on the defense, they acquire target lock, and there you go.
I don't know. I feel like if you blow your ordnance and you don't kill enough stuff, you need to hit that critical
Oh
mass.
no, I'm
But like
absolutely like you
U-boats are
need
really
to,
good at hitting that critical mass because we see them everywhere.
and
They're
yeah, it is
hitting
attacking.
they're hitting top tiers. They're hitting the top eights.
Oh well, not recently, but we'll talk
Really?
about that.
All right. So let's move into regional season, shall we?
Oh yeah,
Let's
all
move
right.
into this. So I'm gonna bring up on our lovely little stream tournament results, and here they
The
are.
they are provided by Major Juggler. These
There you
most of
go.
these results.
So we have the first one open here is Munich, Germany, April 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
And the winner was Robots BNC. I had to play against Robots BNC yesterday at
Uh-huh.
a Sword and Fire and Ice tournament, and that was painful when running Scum Toolbox because they really suffer against big ships that
Yep.
have a lot of tricks like Robots.
Yeah, if they get all their actions off, they will mess you up. And even so, they still have a lot of abilities to do things.
Yeah, and this is more or less like the standard kit, right? But this dude
Hmm.
rolls like Predator. A
Which
Matt
is
I
still good.
know, and advanced sensors, which is really interesting instead of fire control. Because normally, like, the guys that we see that play robots, the way I like to play robots is HL. Oh, he had one HLC, one Mangler,
Yes, he did.
auto thrusters, Predator,
That's how he afforded
advanced
Predator.
sensors. That's very interesting because normally, like, we do like heavy laser cannon,
Yes. I think he did that
drugs.
because
Drugs are
he
fun and
shoot the out. Yeah.
crack shot. So like we have these robots that are loaded up on crack and stim. They're really like they kept slim. They have like a nice physique, the nice crackhead's physique. I mean, you've seen a picture of like IG88 before, right?
I have.
So
He's like a
so
walking
I like I'll,
total
I'll look
can.
up IG88 if
But
Google will allow me.
yeah, I can see where he's coming from. He wants to do actions before he K turns, so he does
So I
like
mean,
a
like, doesn't a droid like scream like murderous space crackhead? I have it up on the
yeah,
stream. It's like,
obviously.
because like crackheads, the guys that do drugs, they're not fat, right? They're
Mm,
skinny. They're bones. That's what happens with IG. So
friggin'
that's why generally we have them equipped with crack and stim. But this dude had him with A sensors, Mangler, heavy laser cannon. So you
it
get the
does make sense
reroll
though.
on the range one attack.
It
God
does
forbid
make
you miss, right?
sense. Let me tell you about that though.
No, it make well one, right? So of course it makes sense.
Well, yeah, obviously, but the heavy laser cannon pops through the shields,
Hmm.
and then you get the Mangler cannon, and you go, all right, now that your shields are down, have a crit.
Do you really sacrifice your extra damage at like range 2 and 3 for a crit?
Well, apparently he did, and it worked out.
I mean, was that on a stream? Did you see that, or are you just making
I,
assumptions based
I'm
off
making
what you would
assumptions. He
do?
did win. Let's be
Yeah, well, he
honest.
won. So,
Yeah.
runner up was
Rear Admiral
RAC
Cherney with adaptability, engine upgrade, rebel captive, Palpatine in the
in it.
Decimator,
Yeah,
and then
that's
with
a
the
lot of
Whisper.
points in one dude.
It really is.
And Whisper VIFCS.
Yeah, the standard Whisper with no
Hmm.
crew. Well, obviously because
Yeah,
look at
you,
where
you put
all the
everything
points are.
in. Yeah, you put everything in the decimator. You don't want to shoot it because you just get stressed.
Hmm.
But it's the giant palp pinata. But that
Just
giant palp pinata it's covered in quills because it's a decimator that can shoot
yeah,
you
with
wherever it
rebel
wants.
captive
All right, so
and
that's
Palpatine.
so that's Munich. Let's
Hmm.
go. That's the big boy. The thing that everyone was talking about. Roanoke, Virginia.
Wait, hang on. Oh, we did skip one thing about Germany.
Oh,
There were no U-boats.
right. All right, we see that is
The top
robots.
eight did not have any U-boats
Well,
in
were
Germany.
U-boats out by April 2nd? I don't think so.
Well, they had in this list two Lothal rebels.
Oh yeah, I see that. What? Yeah, right here, top eight.
So
Lothar
why do you
Rebel
think
with
there weren't any
FCS, Gold, TLT,
boats?
Stressbot. Yep. I don't know. They lost because maybe people didn't have practice with the U-boats.
Hmm.
They were really uninspiring. I'm not really sure. I
Think
mean, were there U-boats in the top eight of Roanoke? I don't see that actually. Oh yes,
mm,
they're right here.
yeah, they are.
John Lewis Runningham, this guy.
Yes,
I think he's the
but
only U-boat player. But Roanoke is huge.
oh
Oh
yeah,
Lord, because of the drama, and this is like really like I don't think I've ever heard of X-wing drama as big
no,
as what happened when Fantasy Flight decided to add intentional draws into their tournament rules.
mm,
So IDs, for those who don't know, with a TO present, you may, with your partner's consent, have a draw. Just not play the game. I don't want to play.
yeah.
And the TO has to allow it, I believe. Unless
No, they
it's.
don't.
Oh?
It's
How
up
is
to
it
the
worded?
TO's consent. They
Is
can
that
only.
how it's worded?
It's in there.
Okay.
I can pull that up right now.
Yeah. Please, like, throw me a link.
I will as soon
I
as I
want to
find
see
it.
that. So, in the meanwhile, from what we've heard from our lovely friends in Roanoke, and we have the little factoid right here, I'll highlight it. After round five, the last round of Swiss, exactly eight players, the top eight, were 4-1 and 5-0 apparently due to some early drops from players that were still in contention. All
Mm-hmm.
8 of them were able to take IDs and lock their spot in the top 8. Now, if the top, I think it's either
The last two.
the last two, spots 7 and 8, if they played their round, it's highly possible that the ninth seed was able to squeak in with a win into
Mm-hmm.
the top 8 position. So that's what drew a lot of controversy, especially since it's been reported that the participants they had a little giggle about it. They had a nice
Actually,
little Ella giggle
minor
about
update.
it.
There's apparently some words on both sides. Maybe we
Oh,
can't really confirm it. Yeah, like the people who were in the lower half of the tournament were not too happy.
oh, I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
when
mean,
we're
the 10th
talking
player
about
guy made a
this,
post on a blog, and he seemed pretty chill. He's like, I'm not really upset about it.
that
If
dude
you're really upset,
really
send me
wanted a
booze.
drunk. Yeah, he's just asking for alcohol. But the long and short of it is, Roanoke, it seems like it got shanghaied by these top 8 people. I mean, that's crazy. How could a TO let your tournament get shanghaied like that? Especially, and they were having a laugh. That's terrible. Speaking of laughs, we'll talk about
Ooh,
another ID
Georgia.
incident. So we're gonna skip New Mexico really fast, and we want to
Team,
talk about Georgia, which happened I think a week later. Marietta, Georgia.
that was
Um,
yesterday.
it was yesterday.
I believe so.
So there
Yeah, it
was
was yesterday.
another incident of intentional drawing, and this one was caught on Twitch. So I am going to show you guys what happened on this. I believe it was the top table for this lovely intentional draw.
Oh yeah, it was.
Um,
They had
viewer
left the.
discretion advised. It may get a little lewd here. So let's play the clip.
This one yours?
Play the clip.
So we would like a TO present. Present.
Okay.
Want to draw?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right.
All right. Okay. You want to see my drawing for the draw? Hey, look. It's your stream. I cannot put it on. It's your name on the screen. I'll cut it. All right. Got it. Oh, you want to talk to John?
Wow.
Can you see that?
So I hope people can see this at home. If not, one of the two people had prepared a nice little piece of artwork when they intentionally drew.
You can actually see it better.
You could
when
actually
it's
have it on.
paused.
Yeah, you can see it there when it's paused. Um, if I was that like screams DQ, right? That should be disqualified. Especially on stream? Are you serious? That's
Uh,
terrible.
it is. I would definitely say it's unsportsmanlike.
That is very unsportsmanlike. I mean, like,
Also,
you're
as for
insulting your
mm,
fellow players by locking your spot. Haha, here it is. I'm gonna whop my wad on your face. Here you go. How did Twitch chat react?
oh my God, I have that. I have the quotes right here. I'm gonna read them as I scroll down. All right, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, class act. Thank you at Fantasy Flight Games. Jesus, expletive. GG, ugh. Several dots, like dot dot dot.
Mm-hmm.
Hopeless. Wow, that's another expletive. Sigh. Nice. Lol trollolo. Yep, those guys are dicks. Oh wow.
So the long and the short of it is that
Mm,
Twitch chat, and by and large the community in general, is pretty upset about these ID rulings because of the way how
mm-hmm.
Fantasy Flight's unique variant of Swiss works. It's not necessarily true Swiss.
No,
It's a
it's
little bit
not.
more randomized because true Swiss, the top players it would come to a head and they
Mm.
would face each other, but it's a little bit more randomized,
I will.
right?
I will say, in this case, sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
Uh, in this case, the that was the top table. So it was player 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
So their game didn't really matter. It was the dick pic.
Yeah,
that really got people upset.
it's the BM, it's the bad manners, it's the unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yep, and
I mean,
that's what lets the TOs say no to draws.
yeah, I mean, I would too if you're like gonna flaunt, especially on my stream. Like if I was hosting an event, right? If I was hosting like a regional or store championship, and IDs are allowed, and somebody like takes out like a dong picture and pops it up on my stream, I don't even care if you're IDing or not. I'm ejecting you. That's
Hmm.
terrible. That's unsportsmanlike. That's crazy. I could just between Roanoke and now Georgia, I just can't believe that people are just letting their tournaments be shanghaied. It's crazy.
Mm.
It's absolutely crazy. So let's go back and talk about
Something
Albuquerque,
fun.
New Mexico. And I had actually talked about this list that won, and our resident Rebel player did not like it.
He didn't like
And
it, but here you go.
the thing that won, Julian Horvath, seventh in Swiss,
Mm-hmm.
winner of the whole shebang, 5 green A-wings with adaptability, crack shot, A-wing test pilot, auto thrusters, chart
And the
and
refit.
refit. Crack A's. Crackers. It
At
makes me
Pilot Skill
think
4.
it makes me think of Chris Rock, right? Whenever when he's telling jokes
Mm-hmm.
about like slavery. Crackers, cracker. I
Mm-hmm.
love crack A's. Jesus Christ.
They call it the Green Arrow.
Yeah. I love it, and I'm really glad it won.
Mm-hmm. It was up against 3 contracted scouts.
Yeah. Oh, really? So it
Yes.
versus U-boats, and it won. Yeah. There we go. Second runner-up. 3 U-boats. Deadeye, Plasma, X Munition,
Mm-hmm.
R4, and the
Guidance chip.
guidance ships.
Oof. I can't see because they can just jump into range 1 and then.
They just run at you. What are you gonna do?
And what are you gonna do? Yeah, that's it.
5 forward, boost, run at you, push damage through, crack it up.
And in this regional here, you can see the rebels suddenly appear out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You see like Kanan with Ezra and then Biggs, and the top 4.
Yeah, Biggs
And
is
then in the
huge.
top
That's
8,
huge.
Miranda.
I'm surprised
Wait.
that there's even twin laser turrets here. You see that? Kanan
Yeah.
advanced twin laser turret. That's actually interesting on the Ghost. I'm twin laser turret. I mean, you can't get the double tap off the Ghost title. You only get one shot. That's how that works. You can't like throw your 4 dice from the rear or the 4 arc
Maybe
and
he
then
drops Ezra. He just like
you
poops
just
him
drop it
out
off.
like in the
Yeah,
first. Yeah,
maybe.
he could.
I don't know.
Then you have, as for rebels, you have Miranda Donnie.
Another twin laser turrets. I'd rather not see them. As someone who played twin laser turrets and made a lot of people very upset by running twin laser turrets, I'd rather not see them come back. But that's just me.
You see it with
They're not fun.
Miranda and a Lothal rebel with dorsal turret and Ezra.
Speaking of Lothal rebels,
Oh, man.
Lothal rebel with AK, auto blaster on Chopper. No, it's not a Lothal rebel. It's Chopper with I think our resident rebel player called it like a linebacker chopper. And he just runs at you, and he's got Hera and Zeb, accuracy corrector, auto blaster turret, and he had a super dash with it. And he took first place yesterday at Sword and Fire and Dice against Matt with his Brobots, because Matt made the mistake of not killing the giant loot pinata first of the Ghost, and he just here's your 2 damage, and here's some stress. Here's 2 damage. Here's some stress.
We have a question.
Oh,
we have 2 questions actually.
Let's take. I think we should take questions at the end. I don't know, because we have like a lot of comments to go through. I think we'll do like Q&A at the end. We'll take in questions from Twitch chat, the proverbial caller segment if this was actual radio.
I just want to make sure that they know we're listening.
Oh yeah, no, we're definitely watching. We're definitely watching Twitch chat. I'll throw out a forehead so everyone understands that I'm out looking at you. So, and the green A's, the green arrow. That's not the only one they took.
No.
They also took
Rochester,
New York, upstate.
Ooh, I want to talk about Rochester.
Let's talk about it.
It's
because we missed it.
We
I wanted
did.
to actually go to it. We all wanted to go, and then we missed the pre-regs.
It's
So
all
we're
right
like,
though
whatever.
because I'm looking at this and I'm glad I wasn't there.
Yeah.
uh, Rochester top 8. Factoid for Rochester: the top 8 was all different lists.
There's
Every single one of them was different.
different. We have U-boats. We have Tycho
Tycho, Jake,
Jake.
and 2 prototypes.
What are
Uh,
prototypes? Which ship is that?
the A-wing,
Oh, so the 4
4
A-wings.
A-wings.
But they're
Uh,
like Ace A's. You have
Biggs and
another Biggs.
with 2 Lothal rebels with
That's
fire control
clowny.
system.
That's really
38
clowny.
hull points to come at it.
That's very clowny. And like, but somehow I can target Biggs. I have to shoot the scrawny little A-wing
Yeah.
first, or X-wing. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. Yeah.
Next.
Here's the big one. I'm gonna
Yeah.
highlight this: Lats and Dengar. Dengar.
Yeah, Dengar.
Dengar.
Top 4 in Swiss.
Dengar. You never see like actual like named pilot jump masters, right? You don't see them. You don't see the title. Now why
But
is
there
that?
it is.
Why do we see just U-boats with the ordnance and not the named pilots? Is the ship
It's
just not that good? Like how does this work?
there's a few problems I think. With
Well, you play U-boats, so tell me about it.
All right. So when you're looking at the name pilots, except Manaru, you kind of have to take the title because they're that high pilot skill. And if you load them up with ordnance, which you can, and it works out kind of cheaper, but you're not gonna have the
The follow-up.
you don't have the
I was
follow-up.
talking earlier about that follow-up issue. So the
you
title's like a
have
great way to like
to
maintain
get the
that
3
sustain.
yes. You're paying for the permanent 3 dice unless you get a weapons disabled, which
Paying through the
case,
nose for it.
really stinks.
Yeah.
But Dengar, people don't seem to like his ability because it's only in arc. He only gets his shooting back in arc.
Yeah, so you have to actually like aim your ship and not like fly it like a decimator. Like it's a very like it's like a cross between like a decimator and an IG in terms of movement, right? Because you have like the turret 360, I can shoot wherever I want, but then it's got like the movement of maybe a YT 2400 or maybe like a robot with like the greens, the asymmetrical dial, which I thought was going to be a lot more severe than it actually is. It's actually symmetrical. It's just the greens.
Yeah, it's just the greens.
It's just the color.
But I like it.
I mean, it's interesting. It adds a new element of gameplay, but now you're like, if I can, I want to force the U-boat player to deploy not on my left, his right, because the lefts are green. I want to make him turn and not get any benefit out of it.
Yeah, you block to the left and they have to go right. What's next in that list? You have
Whisper and 2 Sigmas.
Well, you skipped one, but yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
forgot about Palob.
Palob with Mandalorian Mercenary and Forlom.
That's interesting.
It's very interesting. I wish we don't have the more detailed stuff.
Yeah, we don't have like the upgrades and anything really. That's kind of silly. And we have the 3 Phantoms.
I don't even know what to say about that. They got top 6. It was in the 6th place in Swiss.
So I think the big thing about like what we're seeing here with Rochester with these regionals is that we have Wave 8 come out, new meta shift. People are still trying to figure out this meta. They're still trying to figure out what works, what doesn't. Because at the tail end of the previous meta, it was twin laser turrets.
Yes.
Or it was robots, like at Kappa.
Or
the guy that won.
A little bit.
Well, even at Kappa, right? That's like the tail end of the previous meta. Like it was the guy that won was for TLTs.
Yeah.
So TLTs were huge. But I think it's going to take a while for people to figure out the meta, because when we were seeing the hype on the forums, like U-boats were huge. People were talking about, this ordnance, the guidance ships, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, it fixes ordnance, sure, but like they're not showing up in the top. What's going on? What's happening?
There's very limited right now.
Yeah.
Before in the previous.
Maybe people just need more practice with them. I don't know.
In the store
it's a new
championships, they were really dominating, but in these regional plays, you see one. Like there's only one at Rochester for the top 8.
Yeah.
And you see all these rebel lists, like the Biggs 2 Lothal Rebel. Who would have thunk?
I'm happy to see the Ghost around, because my first thoughts were rather uninspiring of the ship, because it's got like all the drawbacks of a decimator, right? Without the turret weapon, so you can't shoot anywhere. It's funnily enough, fun fact, the Ghost is the only ship that takes advantage of every single maneuver template. They don't have every
It's
single
true.
maneuver, but every single maneuver template.
They do.
Four
It's true.
straight 5K turn, all the hards,
It's
all the
crazy.
everything else.
And then you have the winner, which is the 5 crack green A's.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the previous tournament, let me just check something real quick. Wow, wait. So in both tournaments that the Green Squadrons won, they were 7th in Swiss,
Oh, really?
in Rochester and Albuquerque.
I think that might be a little bit of a conspiracy here. You think like, oh, how does it just lines up, right? Like if I was able to draw on stream, I'd put like a little triangle.
All right, don't put away the
Illuminati,
tinfoil hat.
the Illuminati. Here you go.
If they win again, I think we can start saying Half-Life 3 or something.
Maybe like Gabe, please.
Uh,
Anywho,
and then in Swiss, the 8th in Swiss and top 8 is the Paltmobile.
Palmobile. Well, we see that everywhere.
Yeah.
Palmobile's huge.
But like
It doesn't
it's
necessarily win, but it places.
oh yeah, no, but well it has been winning in the store championships along with
With
U-boats.
the store champion, we're regional season now.
Yeah, now we're
We're hitting the big
regionals.
boys.
And now we're seeing like we see Rochester and like, well, what is this?
So let's look to the future, right? Let's
Yeah.
look to.
Well,
Let's
we still
even
have,
look. Well, what
we
else?
didn't-
No, I
we
think
didn't
we
really-
talked about everything else, right?
Did we examine the Georgia list or not really?
I mean, do we have to? I mean, Palp actually won here
Yes,
with
yes,
three
he did.
ships. He had Wampa,
But I want to talk
OL.
about some of the Blount
PTL.
Tracer lists.
Where do you see that?
Nick White,
White.
Blount VI, Gray Squad with
I see that.
Crackshot Plasma Torps.
Yeah, that's
and
kind of
three-
like what I ran into at a Stormfire and Dice, except
Yeah.
instead of the Y-Wings, which I think are actually a really good
Mm.
addition here, because you give them crack, you give them plasma, you push the damage through, you open them up. I think Greys are like PS3, right?
PS4.
Oh, so they're PS4, so you
They don't
you
use
unload them first, and then you follow up with the conch,
Yeah.
which is really good. I actually like that instead of just running along, running across like the Roman line with the throw your Pelham and off you go.
Yeah.
And the Y-Wings are a little bit more tankier. The
also-
dial's not that great because they're not scum.
Also at this regional, you saw 2 Kanan Ezra Biggs lists.
Mm.
And 2 ghosts.
2 Ghost.
2
Very
ghosts in the
spooky.
top 16.
Very spooky. Too spooky, I think.
And then there was Kyle Katarn appeared.
Kyle Katarn, Mandalore the Bearded. Where is this guy? I
with
see it right there with
Poe,
Jake and
Kyle
Poe.
Katarn.
That looks like that's not a regen. Well, it's a regen Poe.
It's well, Kyle Katarn feeds Poe another focus.
Mm-hmm. So you could spend one to attack or defend, and
Yeah.
you can hold it to regen.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
That's nice. It's neat. With TLT, Moldy Crow, Adapt. That's pretty good.
And then they had an Elite Swarm there too.
Not bad.
Yeah. And
But the
then
big
Dash
winner-
Panda.
But the big winner there, I think this just punishes. This kind of punishes you for being, unique, right? Is
Yeah.
the Palmobile with the Wampa, OL, and Inquisitor.
Oh yeah, Wampa is.
Those are like very light aces. Like considering like you could bring Vader with all the tricks in tow. You could bring like yourself a Sooner Fell. You could bring yourself.
The thing is,
I don't know.
I'm looking at
a Whisper.
when I look at that list,
Mhm.
I see why. Because you got 2 budget aces
Yeah.
and a stealth, not ace,
Mm-hmm.
but
It's like a pocket ace.
He's like a penny ace.
Yeah,
I'd call
ace
it.
on the cheap.
He's dangerous if you leave him alone.
Well, yeah, it's Wampa. I came across Wampa down in Kappa. The guy that was playing him, I think was one of the Nova Squadron guys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't necessarily remember. A guy with a beard, great guy. He ran 2 defenders because he wanted to practice in anticipation for the upcoming
Right.
Imperial veterans, and he ran, I think, like Wampa and somebody else. And I ran Cat Scarlet with VI, HLC, K4,
Yes,
and the 2
yeah, your
TLT
cat
Hawks.
list.
And I just looked at Wampa. I'm like, I don't like you.
Yeah, no,
And then I
'cause-
proceeded to delete him from the game.
Mhm.
Needless to say, it's not necessarily. I don't think that's maybe the venue that you bring stuff you want to practice for future
No,
metas. But
no.
hey, do what you like, right?
Yeah.
Fly casual, have fun. That's what the game's all about. I know some of us nowadays take us a little bit too seriously. We have the
Yeah.
IDs now from Magic, that sort of deal. So we need to
That's,
find a.
yeah,
I
we
think we need to find a nice little balance between
mm,
casual and competitive, and we definitely need to up the sportsmanship because dick drawings on stream do not promote
on
the
the live
game.
stream
Do not
at that.
promote the game at a regional. So this is like a Fantasy Flight sanctioned event. It's a premier tournament. So like if we compare this to like some major esports,
Yeah.
like Dota 2 for
Yeah,
example,
like if
you're
that
not gonna
happened
you're
with
not
Dota
gonna
2,
see you're not gonna see like Navi. You're not gonna see like Dendi roll out with like a dick picture, ha 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 ha.
hmm
And that Valve's not gonna have any of that. They
no,
keep their
I
ducks
don't
in
think
order.
his team would
Granted,
either.
granted, Fantasy Flight isn't as huge as Valve, but you still got to keep up the sportsmanship about it. You
hmm
know, you can't have BM, you can't have bad manners.
I think it might be just the live streams. They didn't have enough oversight, maybe I'll say,
Maybe not.
on that.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll
Fantasy
see.
Flight, funnily enough, has a ruling tomorrow.
Oh yeah, they're gonna do
They
something. We'll
posted on
see.
their Twitter that we have some news about the ID rule. So I hope it helps punish these people who are doing it to Shanghai tournaments and then having a illegal about it.
Mhm.
All right, so I think we should look to the future. Let's look past the regional season. Let's look to Wave 9. Let's look to Worlds,
Mm.
Nationals, upcoming Imperial Veterans. I look really forward to
Oh yeah,
Vets.
Wave
Imp Vets
9
look nice.
speculation and Scum Aces.
So I'm going
Oof.
to take this down there. So let's talk about Imp Vets.
Oof.
I look forward to it. As someone who uses a tractor beam, that shit's hilarious. Throw somebody on a rock, and
Yeah.
with running defenders, like 3 defenders, that's something I want to run. 3 defenders with the tractor beam and the defender title. So I hit him with the tractor beam, and then I follow it with my primary weapon.
Mhm.
So I hit him with the tractor beam, throw him on a rock, they have reduced agility, and let him with damage. Next guy, tractor beams again. Oh, their agility's reduced even more, and just
Yeah.
hit him again.
Yeah.
Hit
You
him
just
again.
stack it.
Hit him
You just
again.
stack it. It's great.
It's
I'm
awesome.
really looking forward to
It's
bombers.
clowny. I love it.
I'm looking forward to bombers. I love bombers. I want to use them, and I can't wait for the title because I'm gonna have Jonas, the new bomber guy who can
Oh, so you
reuse
could turn like the title where you turn the
into
shuttle
a TIE
into
shuttle.
you turn the
Throw in
bomber into a paltmobile and a pitmobile,
yeah, and a pitmobile. So fleet
a little
officer, system
limousine.
officer, Major Rhymer, Atomics Bren, and I have bomber aces. Like
Yeah,
you would have never played that. No one would ever have played that before.
I don't know if I'd still play it,
This
but I mean, like it looks good.
it looks
I
good.
look forward to it.
You get your target locks, and then you get the rerolls. Even though you don't have your target locks from Jonas, he hands out focus tokens. He does all this prep work for them. He hands out a free target lock too
Hmm.
at that, and it's crazy. And I can't wait to play that. And then Tonks Brent has a crack shot. Reimer has VI, so he's gonna tag a dude with plasma torps and say, "Hey, you, have my mod shots."
There you go. Bombers look good, man. I look forward to
Yep.
defenders, bombers, especially defenders.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh yeah, no, I want to know what the Countess does. I really do.
yeah, I saw that Countess. I mean, it's speculated Countess. I don't remember her name. She's somewhat in the expanded universe. I believe in the expanded universe, the fluff is that she's actually not like an Imperial pilot at all. She's just like hoity-toity and has a lot of money and just, I want to fly a TIE Defender for the Empire. And they're like, okay, thanks for the money.
Yeah,
I think that's how that
believe it.
works.
I believe it. Something like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, Defender's gonna be great. You're gonna see them in Palp Ace lists, definitely. Or even in Imperial Ace lists on their own.
Maybe defenders kill the Palpaces with that control.
They
I
could.
really love the tractor beam.
Yeah, and the double tap. The double tap is what makes it.
That's
worth it.
huge. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, and the if you want a cheap defender, do you take that title and give it juke?
Yeah.
You do a 3 forward, you get an evade token, you juke, you focus, and you just punish people. That's it.
It would bring the joke 2 forward and evade. Well, you don't get the 2 forward and evade. You have to 3 forward and evade.
Yeah, it's 3 forward and
But
evade.
it makes that local joke a little bit more real, more viable.
One day.
One day maybe.
What else do we got here? Scum Aces.
Scum Aces. We heard the rumor mill about that.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Oof. There was another podcast they were interviewing Alex Davey, I think.
I think he's like a designer for Scum and
Yes.
Villainy, right?
Yes. Well,
Over
X-Wing
Fantasy
in
Flight.
general.
Yeah.
He talked about a lot of things he would have liked to do. Like he would have liked the heavy sick title to have added a hull.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that because it heavy. Like it should have done something for those 2 points.
It's very expensive.
Mm.
As someone who likes to fly 6 myself,
Mm-hmm.
very expensive. Go on.
They did that though, so you can't just slap heavy laser cannon on all of them and just have fun flying around with your glass cannons. I understand why they made it 2 points. What else? Kirax. They point reduction. I heard a little bit.
hmm
Maybe it needs something else.
I mean, we were talking about that the
Mm.
other day, I think. What like what you could do for like the Kirax, and I think the solution was like give it a mod slot that gives it like an astromech, like an astromech socket.
Yeah, something like that. Something neat, or like a one-use boost in the illicit slot.
Yeah.
Something like really cool, like something fitting for its effect. Then you have the Star Viper. I love the Star Viper.
Yeah, I know.
I
You
fly
are
Guri
you are
all
a
the time.
Tiberzan fanboy here.
I love it. I love it. I want to see more pilots for it. I want to see some kind of like Chardon refit like card for it. I would love a buzz droid missile or bomb or something like that. You just poop out a buzz droid and like let your opponent deal with it. It'd be great.
That'd be funny, and would definitely breathe a lot of life into the Star Viper because Star Vipers nowadays people are just buying for the auto thrusters so that they can run their
Mm.
PAL bases, and then the ship sits there in the dust. I mean, Fantasy Flight has done a good job of like breathing life into older ships that were kind of phased out because they weren't as viable. Like twin laser turrets brought back the Hawk, they brought back the Y-wing. Dorsal turrets now bring back the Y-wing, at least I feel as well.
Mm-hmm.
But now you need to touch up ships that they could have started that could have had a better start, but then fell off. Like
The nice thing is, I understand why they did these like cautionary, not so great at the start. It's because they didn't want to have to be like, oh no, it's too strong. What do we do now?
I mean, we've seen an example of power creep with the TIE Phantom.
Yeah,
Your
and
base 4 attack, that's absolutely ridiculous.
they the way they nerfed it was the decloaking,
hmm
which they didn't have to modify any cards. They didn't have to modify point or anything. They were able to do it in a way that helped mitigate its ridiculousness, which was good.
Yeah.
So they're playing cautious now with what they do.
Balancing all things.
Yeah.
Alrighty. What else we got on the
Oof.
docket?
Oh, I think we did miss one scum ship, the 6 Star Viper. I think the G1A needs some love.
Really? Already?
I feel like of all the ships in Wave 8, it has had the least oomph. Like,
I mean,
like
it's a
you look
Scum
at-
B-Wing.
it's a scum B-wing, yes, and it doesn't say a lot. Like, if you look at these regional results, how many of them really have a lot of G1As?
I mean, I don't think anybody won with it, right?
No, no one's won with them as far as I
Where
know.
is it here? But we do see like Forlom up there.
We saw Forlom.
We saw like a couple here and there. I'm trying to look myself.
Hmm.
Pala, Mando Merc, Forlom, Swiss Top 8.
Yeah, but like otherwise, you haven't really seen him come to prominence. Like you see the Inquisitor, you see the Ghost, you see the Jumpmaster,
Yeah.
but you don't see the G1A.
I mean, there's a problem with like even scum ships in general.
Hmm.
Like the just the small base ships are really underwhelming compared to the rebel and imperial counterparts because they need like the most help. They're the most underwhelming, and when you run scum, you're really running either Y wings or Z's or the big base ships. You're running
Hmm.
Brobots. You're running Fire Spray.
So
You're
like
running the
the Scum
Jumpmaster.
unique ships really need help.
Yeah.
Like Star Viper, the Sick, and the Kirax.
hmm And I guess with your argument, the lesser extent the G1A. I've had a lot of success with the G1A.
I understand that, but I
But
mean,
that's
like,
just me.
I think it's suffering the same problem the B-wing is suffering right now.
Yeah, you don't see the B-wing anywhere here. anywhere either.
It's because it's got one agility and not so much. Some they do have some repositioning,
Hmm.
but like they're really expensive. Like the aces,
Yeah,
they're really top heavy.
they don't really do a lot for their points.
Hmm.
It's kind
Whereas
of
you
the
get some of
problem
them.
the defender suffers in a way,
Mm.
just overcost.
And the Star Viper too. They're paying a lot for that heavy top. They're paying a lot for that hull and
Yeah,
the attack dice.
and they're not really getting much out of it.
Hmm.
E-wing too. E-wing we don't
E-wing
really see
too,
anywhere.
especially. The E-wing defender and the Star Viper all have the same kind of problems. They're really costed,
Yeah.
and the only one who can really justify that cost is Cornhorn.
Well, yeah, because he gets the double tap.
Hmm.
So which is kind of like Dengar, but I mean, Dengar's huge. That's the problem. Big
Hmm.
base ships and it's the turret. Like it's not like Dengar's
And
like fly.
Dengar's ability has to be an arc.
Yeah, but it's not like Dengar's flying like a little like Star Viper where like I can arc dodge and always have something in my arc and double tap you twice. He's a giant space boat, you know.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
no, definitely.
it's pretty
It's
underwhelming.
yeah.
It's not like I can shoot back with like a torpedo or something. That'd
That
be
would be
pretty
crazy.
ridiculous. Yeah,
Actually, I don't know if you can. Maybe not.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna look up Dengar real quick.
All right. So I think at this point we take some Q&A
Yep.
from our viewers over in Twitch chat. We have one question here. So with the Phantom showing up in the top 8 again, does this mean that they are regaining their popularity in the meta? Are
Well,
they?
we see. I would say so. I mean, there's 3 Phantoms in one list.
That's ridiculous. That's like a out of left field kind of deal. But when we're talking about PAL bases and PAL bases are everywhere, Whisper's a really good fit. It's an expensive fit, but it's a
He
really
is.
good fit for PAL bases because you can get a lot out of it.
Oh yeah,
And
no,
we also saw Whisper with didn't we see Whisper with that Paltmobile in
uh,
the
we
with Rear Admiral?
we did see him with Rear Admiral carrying Palpatine as a runner-up in Germany. Yep.
Yeah, in Germany. The Germans have it figured out. It's
Mhm.
crazy Germans. When are we gonna make a? Oh, that here's a thought. Maybe we don't see U-boats in Germany
Mhm.
because of their anti-discrimination laws. It's
Oh,
really
that's
racist to
true.
run U-boats. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
that
true.
might be a
That's right.
thing
They can't run U-boats because yeah.
because it's racist.
Mhm.
Those
That's
silly
fair.
liberal Germans
I mean,
missing out on
you
the
know,
U-boat
if it's
fund.
against the law, you can't run
You can't do
U-boats.
it. I'm not gonna
Hey,
oppose
take
Merkel.
a note, Fantasy Flight. Just,
Yeah,
you know,
we shouldn't call them U-boats.
there you go.
All right, so apparently, according to Twitch chat, Dengar can in fact shoot torpedoes with his ability,
Mhm.
but you gotta make sure you have like that focus token or that target lock to set it up.
Yeah.
That's
And
a
then you have
problem.
to have an arc,
Yep.
and there's a lot of things that have to go correctly for that to happen.
Yeah. What about Echo? We don't see Echo anywhere.
Um, Pilot Skill 8,
That's
but
the
even with
yeah.
VI.
With VI, he's PS8.
Mhm.
He's got the really swanky positioning, but I think Echo would be amazing if you could choose between the curve or the straight, but you have to use the
You
curve.
have to curve.
So
That's
you
right.
get like the really funky angles,
Mhm.
and he can get shot first, and
He
people are
can.
running aces now. So I don't want my Phantom getting shot when I only have 2 dodge dice. He's only got 2 hull and 2 shield with 2
Yeah.
dodge. He's really fragile.
Mhm.
So I like Echo. I think that
He's
the
fun to
pilot
play,
ability definitely the pilot ability is really good,
but
really
if
fun to play.
the pilot skill was a little better. But that's balance for you.
Yep, balance
God
in all
forbid
things.
Whisper at pilot skill 11. I mean, God forbid.
Well, if they had that one Rebel Hawk pilot, you could bump him up there. Was it Rorik
Let's not
Garnet?
talk about. Let's hope. Let's never
Let's
hope that
not do
never
that.
happens.
Yeah, right.
I mean, actually, there's a way you can do it.
Oh,
You can take Whisper with decoy and take the one ace, the the Thai FO that's Pile Skill 12 when it doesn't have any damage, and you just trade Pile Skills. I'm Pile Skill 12 Echo.
You
Fear
are
me.
really clowny. Absolutely clowny.
Hey, you can do it.
Yep. All right, so let's have some closing thoughts. We'll wrap up here. Do you have anything else to add, Ouija?
No, not really. I think we hit everything
I
on
think
the
we're
head.
good. Yep. All right, well, Twitch chat viewers out there, those listening to the VOD, thank you for joining us and supporting us on our journey into the podcast realm. Only here on Twitch TV. This has been Grim Squadron Radio. We'll see you next time. Remember, fly casual and stay on target. Thank you very much, folks.
Thank you very much. Have a good one.
Take it easy.